Welcome to season 8 of the award-winning Retail Tea Break podcast. My name is Melissa Moore, the retail advisor, and each week I'll be joined by industry experts, retailers and brands to dispel the myths, share their knowledge and give you an insight into the retail industry. You can listen back to previous seasons on your favorite podcast platform, and while you're there, please do hit that follow button so that you get to listen to it first every week. You can watch us, of course, over on YouTube and subscribe to the Retail Advisor because you've no idea how useful that is to ensure that I can keep bringing you the content that you love. And remember, sharing is caring in the retail industry. Please do share episodes across any of the platforms with your network. And if you're on social media, tag me, Melissa Moore, and the Retail Tea Break podcast. So, in the meantime, grab that cup of tea, sit back and listen in to season 8 of the Retail Tea Break podcast. Today I'm joined by a guest who spent over 20 years in the exhibition and events industry, featured in several retail's most influential lists. He's well-known face within the retail tech industry and has inevitable book of contacts and understands how to truly connect suppliers with buyers. As director of Legend Exhibitions, he founded and launched Retail Business Technology Expo in 2010. Then moved on, he rebranded and renamed the show Retail Expo until the final show in 2019. Then, having moved to 19 Group in 2021, they launched the Retail Technology Show, which quickly established itself as Europe's premium show. This incredible event is a platform for suppliers to showcase the very best and most innovative retail technology solutions, whilst the in-depth conference program will give retailers a clear roadmap for future success. His philosophy is simple. Make experiences, not exhibitions, and he continues to find ways to revolutionize the conventional expo model. Matt Bradley, event director at the Retail Technology Show, welcome to the Retail Tea Break podcast.
Thank you. What an intro. That was quite a trip down memory lane as well. I enjoyed that.
Oh, do you know what? It's lovely to set the scene. So many of us know you so well, but I just thought for those that might not, it's great to really set the scene today. I'm so excited. Obviously thrilled to announce that the Retail Tea Break podcast is media partner for this year's event that's going to be bigger and better than ever. As a retailer myself, I'm a huge fan of the show, so we're going to delve into that in a little bit more detail. But look, to kick us off, in the age-old tradition of the Retail Tea Break podcast, in the time that it boils the kettle, I suppose if there wasn't anything I mentioned in your intro, tell us a little bit more about you and, of course, set the scene for this year's Retail Technology Show.
What didn't you include in that? Because there was a lot. I suppose on the personal side, I'm settled down here with my partner. We've got a lovely place in Oxford, so we live slightly outside of London. Between us, we have 4 children, and we welcomed our newest child, baby Theo, at the end of December. It is a crazy, very busy household, and a lot like running a major retail exhibition. There's lots of people with lots of different needs. Yeah, definitely keeps me on my toes, both in a professional and a personal lifestyle as well. Yeah, and as for the show, obviously I could talk about that all day. I'm very excited. We try and move the dial a little bit more every year, and with our move to our new venue of London's Excel, it's a massive game changer for us. It really is a sign of the times. It shows how big the show's now become. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Amazing. I'm so excited. We were just saying before we started recording, I've never been to the Excel, but it's the biggest event space in London. As you said, it just shows how many people come to this event. We're looking at over 15,000 senior retail professionals, over 400 innovative tech suppliers, 125 guest speakers. Like, it is bananas, Matt, this year. But yeah, the Excel. So we're in London, in the heart of London there. Really accessible venue as well. It's going to be fab.
Yeah, there's so much going on. And I think every year we try and increase the quality of the show. And a lot of that obviously comes from the conference program, which in a way is relatively easy because the trends within retail change every single year. And so much of the stuff we spoke about last year, we're not speaking about this year. But the quality of speakers that we're able to recruit is far better than when you take this back to sort of year one. We were very lucky with the people we had as we started, but as we've got on and we've progressed and we've built a reputation, we're really lucky to be able to secure the likes of Archie Norman, chairman of from Marks and Spencer's. Theo Paphitis is going to be joining us with H&M, the CEO of Ann Summers. So really some top speakers there that are going to enlighten our audience with the future path of retail.
And I love that because there really is something for everyone, as you say, very different again to last year, which is exciting. Split into 6 tracks across the 2 days. The conference program on day one covers leadership, the workforce, and the economy. And that's just on the headline stage, of course. So
Yeah.
again, we're delving into different pockets of retail. The headline stage, the future of trading, which is going to explore economic trends, the customer, social media and marketing. Day two, we've got AI, data, omni-channel. So we've got all those new AI trends. Like, there really is. And I keep saying to this, and I think the way I've explained it to people, come, there is something for everyone, whether that's that pocket of retail that you're in, or
Mm.
whether it's something you know nothing about. Because I certainly sat in sessions last year, almost a bit like an imposter, going, I've no idea what this is going to be about. But actually,
Yeah.
you come away with so many nuggets, so many insights, and of course, then new connections that it is so useful.
I think that's what I love about this industry. And you know this probably better than anyone with the multiple interviews you're doing and things like that and the discussions you're having. There's never there's always something to talk about when it comes to retail. There's never a time to be silent. There's always question marks around new trends, new technologies breaking through. And obviously that's powered by both the retailer and the consumer as well. So it's a very exciting, fast-paced, fast-moving industry. And trying to stay at the heart of that is probably one of the biggest challenges, actually. It's trying to make sure we're relevant, because what you don't want is for people to leave the show and go, yeah, I knew all that already. I'm not getting anything new. So that is where I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves in to ensure that people's time is valued. And so when they leave, they've actually got something out of that.
And I think as well, there's a real misconception. We know technology is in the title, but it is everything. And I think that's what fascinated me about coming to the show over the years, that it isn't just about technology. Yes, you've got the biggest and the best of the retail tech giants coming, you can come and meet them, but it's about the people. Because I know when you and I spoke on this podcast last year, actually everything was coming down to the people. It's the people behind it. And with that, so many networking opportunities.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely. It's really, it's a lovely feeling to have to be at the heart of this community where you're bringing everyone together. And it's one of the best moments of the show is certainly at that big party on day one when you're looking over and you're just seeing all of these retail professionals, whether they're retailers, whether they're influencers, whether they're suppliers, whether they're podcast hosts, whether they're journalists. They're just all together. And it certainly makes you feel that we're all in this in the same place. We're all part of this same community and we're all pulling in the same direction. And yeah, there's a real nice sort of warm feeling about that, particularly when you hear people saying, "Oh, I'll see you at the retail show," or "I'll see you at the retail," and you think, "Oh, that's nice. I like that people are using us as the place to reconnect and network." And again, it's not just about learning, it's also about sharing some of the problems you've got. And I'm always amazed by this, perhaps this false media advertising that the retail world is incredibly competitive. And don't get me wrong, it is, but it's also incredibly loving and incredibly considerate towards each other. And I've watched major retailers, huge competitors, spend hours talking about what their next moves are, what their next pain points are, and stuff like that. So, I think I find that really encouraging, and it just sets the scene of what a lovely community we're all part of.
And I think that's so true because there's a trust there. Like it's really hard to explain and apologize. We're on a podcast and meant to be able to talk about these things. But there's such a lovely feeling every time people like me come to that show. And I remember actually on that of that honesty and the trust that's in the
Yeah,
room, if you want to say. Charles Tirrith last year with his headline speaker, brutally honest about the highs and lows that the business has been in. And actually that was a core memory from last year for me, from all these speakers that you had, the honesty. It's not
yeah,
perfect out there, or here's the next challenge, or here's what we want to do. And actually, I think it ties in with what's happening then on the conference floor. You've got all these solution providers. Some of them are startups, some of them are brand new, some of them are massive headliners from around the globe. Everyone wants to help and support, which is a
yeah.
lovely feeling to have.
And it is, and there's a real, like you say, it's the trust, it's authenticity when people are around. And yeah, there's something just very special about those couple of days. And you get this huge high leading into it, obviously, with as an organizer, with a lot of lack of sleep and nerves. And then you have this sort of incredible 2 days where it all comes right and everyone's very happy and you're getting great feedback. And you're seeing, like you say, you're just seeing smiles and enjoyment everywhere. And then you come off site and you're like, oh my God, now I'm crashing quite quickly. So it's always something for me and the team to be aware of, that highs do drop down quite quickly.
But it's incredible because I know we spoke last year at the Olympia when we were there for kind of RTS 2024. You were
Yeah.
already planning this. This is a year on
Yeah.
planning ahead, putting it together. It's such a big event now.
Yeah, it's huge. And we've still got quite a small team. It's a really close, tight team. So we're all probably majorly overworked, but it's nice that we can keep that control and we can keep that amongst ourselves. Yeah, it's a lot of planning. There's a lot of creative thinking behind it, but we've also got a lot of help. So we work with the industry so much, and we've got so many retailers out there that are just willing to give up their time. They're always on the available at the end of the phone. If they want to go out for a coffee, they're all. If I say, look, I'm really struggling for an idea, can I talk to you? It's such a welcoming industry, and we benefited so much by the help of not just retailers, but also people like yourself, all of the other media partners we work with that are really supportive and get behind this industry event. Yeah, it does feel like one big family, and I'm really thrilled to be part of that.
That's lovely. But also with that, I'm always fascinated. You literally get everyone in the room. Like when you pop onto the website, that everyone that's coming, you name the biggest and best retailers from throughout the world. They're here. They're coming to London, whether they're
Yeah.
speaking or whether they're actually just they're coming to attend. You really have brought everyone together.
Oh, that's very kind. And we've done a really good job. There's still lots of work to do, and there's still lots of plans that we've got and how we're going to make this show bigger and better. We don't tend to ever rest on our laurels. As you say, we're already thinking about next year and actually thinking beyond that as well. So there's a lot that we've got planned particularly over the next 12 months, that will be revealed over the next, probably just after the show. Actually, we'll be revealing a lot more about our major sort of plans over the next 12 months. But yeah, as I say, it's a really exciting industry, and it's a really exciting time to be part of it.
And the one thing we haven't mentioned, it's free.
I
There's no
know.
payment to come along to this. There are for other
Um,
events around the world. You've done this for us, the audience, those attending, absolutely free.
yeah, and I suppose a lot of the European shows, they tend to charge. It's not always a tradition in the UK, and I think there are some companies that are starting to move towards that. It's not our plan at the moment, certainly not for the immediate future anyway. We will always try and ensure that we provide in my opinion, a conference program that is good as any paid for conference program. And I look around the industry, and I think we are. I think we're up there. I think we're comparable to anything that you would pay significant amounts of money to attend. And yeah, it is a great feeling to be able to give that free, and to give back to that industry that gives us so much. So yeah, it's been a really powerful tool for us to be able to say it's not, yes, it's free, but it's also to the value of a paid for conference.
And it truly is. It absolutely is. Because when we've said you've got over 125 industry leading speakers over those 2 days across all the
You're not going
stages.
to ask me to name them all, are you?
Well, you might have a go. I know you've mentioned a few there. Obviously, the two big hitters, the two headliners over those 2 days, Marks and Spencer's Archie Norman
Yeah.
on day one, of course, talking about everything there from obviously their recent incredible transformation, but also their pioneering work on sustainability, which sounds so exciting to have him in the room. And of course, then serial entrepreneur, retail magnate, a Dragon's Den star, Theo Paphitis. That's incredible for day two. Two very different characters there, but again, really championing retail. So they're the two of many big hitters. Throw a few more in there for us, Matt. Let's test.
Test. What I really like about what we've tried to do is we've tried to mix that what you would call the traditional retailers, so the likes of Theo and Archie Norman. But then you've got someone out there like Andrew Zenny from Nobody's Child, who is just ripping up the rule books. He's got some really cool tech. He's got tech as well as on side of his retail, but he's got, honestly, if you spend 20 minutes in a room with Andrew Zenny, you will come out better off from it. I've learned so much from him. So he's a great influence of ours. Stuart Trevor, the founder of All Saints. We're going to try and control what he says, but you just can't, can you, with someone
No,
like
and I
him?
think
And
that's
that,
so
and,
exciting as well.
but you know what? Why would you just give him the mic and let him run with it? That's what I say, because he's got amples to hand back to this industry. He knows so much, and if he doesn't know it, it's not worth knowing, pretty much. So people like Stuart, people like Andrew Zenny. Obviously, I'll be trying to get in to see Archie Norman if I can. I'll also try and get to see Theo. Then some of our panels are just incredibly exciting, with the likes of Ann Summers and H&M and Rituals. Gymshark, we just confirmed Gymshark. What an exciting brand Gymshark is, the stuff they're doing. Shein, perhaps one of the most controversial brands in the industry right now. It'd be great to hear what they've got to say. TikTok are going to be on the stage, what major impact they've had on the retail sector. So there's just so much different diversity that I think that's what really makes the conference program exciting. I'll be trying to get to as many of them as possible. I rarely do, but if I can, I'll be getting there. And again, like I say, these guys have got things to talk about, but it's not like we're going to be enforcing them to only talk about that. We want to let them be free. We want to let them talk and let them say about what they think about the industry. And there's so many questions at the moment. I know Archie Norman's going to be bombarded with questions about the economy. We know that we've got people from Tesco that have really, we know about the staff shortage they've got coming up, which is awful. And I know they're going to be questioned about the economy as well. So there's some really poignant messages going out there in the retail sector at the moment. It's great to have that mix of traditional and those sort of disruptive, innovative companies that I've just mentioned.
It's fantastic. And again, something for everyone. Doesn't matter what kind of silo or category of retail you're in, doesn't matter where you work within the sector. It's going to be such an exciting 2 days. And of course, I have to mention the absolutely formidable Kate Hardcastle, of course, manning up that main stage for the 2 days. Really excited because again, she asked the questions that we're all sitting there thinking. So
She's a
again, you're getting
genius.
those answers that you would never normally get because again, the honesty, that trust in the room, you hear it like it really is.
Yeah, look, no, there's very few that can put an audience in the palm of their hand like Kate can. She's phenomenal at what she does. I tend to, one of the few things I do is I always watch her intro because it just is brilliant. Just the presence she has when she walks on stage. She can just stand there and just command an audience. She's just a force of nature. I love working
She
with Kate.
certainly is very special. I'm looking forward to seeing her again on stage this year because she's absolutely one to watch and certainly for someone like me, one to learn from. So look, as we wrap up and as we get more and more excited to be at this year's Retail Technology Show, in a nutshell, for those that are listening who haven't already booked their ticket on the website, which of course, as I've said, is free, in a nutshell, why come?
We've summed it up today, haven't we? This is, it is a sector that is going through considerable change, and we're going to give you all the tools needed to help make those right decisions. So whether that will come from retailers themselves or from the suppliers that can perhaps unlock that route to your market, then the Retail Technology Show's for you. There's going to be so much going on, so much to see. Startups, traditional companies, traditional retailers speaking, disruptive retailers speaking, bringing the whole industry together, multiple networking opportunities. It's going to be exhausting, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I can promise you
I,
that.
I love that, and it certainly will be. So we've got Excel in London, 2nd and 3rd of April. It
Yeah.
is free. I know I've said it before, but I want to keep banging that drum. If you're coming along, pop onto the website today, get your ticket. And look, in the meantime, then, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please do and share this because we really are so excited for this year's show. Remember, obviously, you can listen back to past Retail Tea Break episodes on your favorite podcast platform or, of course, over on YouTube. Connect with myself and Matt on LinkedIn. And again, please register for the show. Pop over to their website, retailtechnologyshow.com, 2nd and 3rd of April in London. And a quick recap, 15,000 plus senior retail executives from across a broader spectrum of retail, 400 plus innovative tech suppliers, over 125 speakers. There is something for everyone here. 2 days of craziness and retail togetherness. It's going to be incredible. Matt, looking forward to seeing you in London. Thanks so much for today's chat.
It has been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you very soon.